Hi, hello. Good morning. I'm checking out of Blue Swallow. Good night's sleep for the most part. I did sleep through my 2 alarms, so I'm getting a little bit later start than I wanted. But yeah, that's what happens when you're sleepy, I guess. We're going to head out to Glen Rio and then come back through Tucumcari and hit downtown. That way there's some civilization between me and my next few stops. So let's get on the road. Hi, hello, it's Sarah. Welcome back. This is part 2 to my road trip across New Mexico series, and started the morning in Tucumcari and headed to Texas to see Glen Rio and take photos. And yeah, ended the day in Moriarty. So let's see how everything goes. Apologies for how disgusting my windshield is. I cleaned it pretty much every time that I stopped, but man, some of those bugs were baked on there, so sorry. All of the Route 66 cars headed out early. They were gone at like 6 in the morning. Heading out of Tucumcari, I did want to stop and take photos of this ice cream shop. It has definitely been closed for a long time. There's still like tables and chairs and stuff inside, but I think the phone booth is an indication that this has been here a while, but hasn't been used in quite some time. It's strange seeing all these places that I've had pinned and being like, there's so much, and then getting here and I'm like, is there? I mean, there is, don't get me wrong, but it's just still crazy that it's still dead despite there's definitely a couple people in like the diner that I went to last night that were doing the Route 66 stuff, but very few and far between. And yeah, it's just a quiet, sleepy little town. I am excited to get back to downtown though. I should have gone yesterday. I should have done a lot of stuff yesterday. But I didn't. And so now we're all gonna be cramming it in today. So, which is fine. But yeah, let's get on the road to Glen Rio. It's about 40 minutes. I am just gonna take the interstate. A lot of that section of Route 66 is closed. I think there's a bridge out, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, we're not gonna deal with that. So, all right, let's go. Made it to Glen Rio. So crossed into Texas. I'm currently in Central Time Zone. I didn't realize that was gonna happen. It's kind of weird because there's definitely a few houses that look occupied, but everything else is just There is a dispensary here though, which is funny to me. Yeah, gonna hop out, take a couple pictures of this motel, and then flip it around and hit those 2 gas stations that are completely abandoned, and then head back west. This is as far east as I'm gonna go. I really wish I could invest in the time to get to Midway, which is not that far, really. The Midway point's in Adrian, I want to say, but it's really not far, but I just need to go back the other direction. So I also think this is the road that I would take to get to the modern restroom. So I'm gonna look at the map and see if that's correct, and then flip back around. So yeah, let's take some photos. Wind is no joke, and it's supposed to be bad all day. And I checked Moriarty, which is where I will end up tonight, and it's also under a red flag warning, like it's the whole state. Which is fair. You know, the one thing about staying at these motels is a bunch of them don't really offer a breakfast, which, you know, they don't really have the facilities for it, so I get it. There was coffee available, but I didn't grab any. I should have. So I'm gonna eat a little snack, a little muffin top, before I head out from this spot, because there ain't nobody around here, for one. And for two, it's getting pretty warm already. It's only 9:30, and the high today is supposed to be 91, where I'm currently at. In Moriarty, it's only supposed to get up to like 80, which I thought would mean storms, but I don't see any in the forecast for anywhere, which is kind of nice. It's so windy. Also, who am I that 9:30 is running behind? It really meant to be on the road a lot earlier than I was, but it happens. The gravel to get out this far It's very washboardy, but nothing terrible. But I am concerned that if there's anybody else who is trying to do this, I'm gonna meet them, and it's kind of a one-lane situation. It'll be fine. I grew up in Iowa. I should be able to know how to do this. Sick. We, once again, really don't have any cloud cover to speak of. There's some light wispies, but nothing that makes for stunning visuals, really. But, I mean, you work with what you get. I do think tomorrow will be a little more dynamic in terms of sky, just judging from the weather that I've looked at. But tomorrow is a pretty short day also. Today got longer because I added Glen Rio. I should have done it yesterday. I think I already said that, but it is what it is. Tomorrow should be pretty short because I am staying just east. What are my directions? Yeah, just east of Albuquerque. And I'm staying in Moriarty tonight. Or, no. Tonight, I'm staying just east of Albuquerque. Tomorrow, I'm staying east of Gallup. There we go. I know what I'm doing. So let's head back to Glen Rio. The actual Route 66, which is this gravel as of right now, is closed up ahead, which I did know. I knew that there was a bridge out, so that was part of the plan, because I did make a plan, I swear. Headed back to Glen Rio, shoot the 2 abandoned gas stations that are right off the exit, head back on the interstate, and I have some stuff pinned along the way, so I'm just gonna check that out once I get to those gas stations and shoot them, but let's get going. So when I first was planning this trip, it was originally just going to be like 3, maybe 4 days. Probably 3, I think, when I was first looking at it. I was just going to dip down to Tucumcari and come back home. And then when I was talking about doing the trip, a friend of mine was like, hey, you should come here, because she also lives in Colorado, but she lives clear on the other side of the state. So then it turned into I was going to go across Colorado to Durango, pick up Lindsay, and then we were going to go down south across Route 66 and then back up. And then she was going to fly home from Denver. So that made the trip longer. And then, unfortunately, she had some medical things come up and she needed to have surgery and just a lot of things happening all at once. So she was like, I really should not do this. Not going to be able to go. And totally understood, but that also meant that I'd already taken that amount of time off, and it was just like, let's do it. Like, I can do this. I was going to do 3 days. What's like 5 days by myself? Turns out it's a lot. But then I was like, well, I don't need to stick to that route anymore because I wouldn't need to go clear across Colorado. So then the plan was just to do Route 66. And then I was like, I have all this time and it seems like there should be more that I can add to the thing. And then I was like, well, I'm going to be in New Mexico and I have all of this time. I should just head down to White Sands for a day. And then the week before I left, I checked and White Sands was closed. You could get to like mile marker 3, which is not very far into the park, because a plane had crashed and they had just like closed off the park for investigation. Didn't really see much about that on the news, but White Sands is directly next to a Air Force base, so I have to assume that the government was involved. So yeah, then I ended up doing the route that I did take, because I didn't want to drive all that way and then not be able to see all of White Sands. So there's been a lot of different plans for this trip, but that's what I obviously did is what the final look was, but so many different things were supposed to happen that didn't, and it was a hot mess. And so I didn't know which end was up really by the time that I left, but I did have a plan and I did have it written down. I just couldn't remember what all I was supposed to do. So I'm at these abandoned gas stations and there's a car pulled over. It's a newer car. It has handicap plates. But I don't see anyone. But I can't tell if there's somebody in the car. Solo road trips are meant to be solo. Where are these randoms coming from? I don't want to walk up on something. But I am going to shoot the building at least behind me, and I can get a pretty good shot of the one in front of me. I just don't know. I really don't want to walk up on something, so I'm just not going to walk up on it. And if someone's in it, well, hey. Just say I don't mind graffiti as much as some photographers, like, especially if it's good. There's definitely a lot of bad graffiti out there, but it is what it is. But these banners, just pay for a sign, or like they've got a full truck out here, but come on, for real. Made it back to Tucumcari. Stopped at Russell's before heading back this way. Russell's Truck and Travel Center is open 24 hours and it's a pretty large truck stop, especially for one that I'm assuming is like independently family owned. It's not a Love's, it's not like a huge chain, but it also has this museum in the back, and the museum is free. They do take donations, and if I read correctly, all of that money goes towards helping feed families that need assistance and things like that. So definitely worth checking out. I know nothing about classic cars or any type of vehicle, but I do like shiny things, and everything was very cool to see. I also did call the non-emergency number for Glen Rio to check on that car because there was somebody in it. It also didn't look like there was any windows down, and it's toasty. Yeah, so that's gonna haunt me for a while, frankly. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure I just didn't see a window open on the other side. It's fine. Yeah, so we're gonna walk around downtown Tucumcari. I'm gonna double check how much time it's gonna take me to get from here to Santa Rosa to Vaughn to Moriarty, because it's already noonish, I want to say, and yeah, I thought I would already be quite a ways in the other direction, but I'm also forgetting that I had like a 6-hour drive originally planned for today and not what I have, so it's fine. I don't need to get to Moriarty before, dark, so it's fine. Yeah, so let's take a walk around downtown, get some shots, and then maybe grab some lunch. Maybe somewhere. I don't know. Let's see where the road takes us. It's hot, y'all. Just did some walking around downtown. I'm sure you will see. Yeah, I'm not firing on all cylinders. This is warm. And I haven't really had other than snacky things to eat this morning. So it's now 12:30 and I've been up since like 6. So I'm gonna go to Dell's and I'm gonna get some food. And that'll put me back on 66 from being downtown, and we can get a couple more signs hopefully on the way out. And golly, I put on sunblock, y'all. I'm gonna have to touch that up. But yeah, I'm gonna get some real food, sit inside where it's cool. I mean, obviously the car is cool, but walking around, whew, sweaty. And yeah, see you there. Fighting for my life. Oh my God. All right, it's windy as hell, but I need to get on the road. It is 2 o'clock. Gonna head to Santa Rosa. It's about an hour drive, and it looks like there's construction on the way, so not ideal, but that's fine. And then from there, we'll dip down into Vaughn, and then head up to Moriarty. So it is 93 degrees out. The sun is sunning. It's doing its job, but goddamn. Yeah, there are so many things in Tucumcari, and I can't. I've shot a lot of things. I don't know that I gotten anything good, but that's just, you know, the imposter syndrome and shit. But there's also just so much stuff that I went past and was like, I need to shoot that, but I was like on the way to, there's just too much. There's so many things to take pictures of, and unfortunately this lighting is just not, it's so bright out. Which is not my fave way to shoot. It's not my least favorite by any means, but there's just a lot happening. And I really need to get on the road. So Tucumcari, I will see you again, I am sure, because there's so much stuff here. And let's hit up Santa Rosa. I also hit a curb earlier. My tire seems fine. It was pretty bad. I didn't mean to. I honestly don't even know how I did it. Or maybe there was a big rock. I don't know. Something. But everything seems fine. Oh no. Everything's fine. made it to Vaughn. I don't know that I really filmed much in Santa Rosa. There's a lot of stuff to take photos of there, but it's all really stacked on top of each other, and I don't know. I was having some issues with just like being by myself. Yeah, just weird traffic and whatnot. I got a couple of photos and stuff, but we'll see. I am currently about to hop out and take photos at the Western Motel, I believe. I think that's the name, here in Vaughn, and it's pretty sick. But there are a couple cars parked. It's permanently closed, but there's a couple of cars that have been parked underneath the like office awning, so I'm gonna have to shoot around that too. So we'll see what I come up with. Between Santa Rosa and Vaughn, I think I hit like a pivotal driving moment where a semi coming from the opposite direction flashes lights to warn me that there was a cop ahead. And that was pretty sick. I was going 10 under the speed limit because I was behind a truck that was pulling a trailer that was going very slowly. And it was a double yellow line, so I couldn't like pass. But the thought was appreciated, and it's, I think, the first time that that's ever happened. I was like, oh my gosh, I know what's happening. What a cool guy. Peak entertainment on this road. After Vaughn, I got to Moriarty and checked into the Sunset Motel. I didn't really take many photos around Moriarty. I had some stuff pinned, but traffic through there was quite a lot, more than expected. I think on one hand there was a lot of construction, so traffic had kind of been backed up for a while, but then also it was Memorial Day weekend, so there was just holiday traffic. So yeah, I didn't necessarily see as much as I wanted to when I got into town, but also by the time I got there and checked in, I was like, I'm in for the night, which ended up not being the case because they had 2 places listed for delivery, for food, for dinner, and both places were like, we don't deliver, or the other one was closed, I think. So ended up heading out, eating at a local spot. I think there was 2 locations between there and the next town over. And it was good. I had my first like enchiladas with Christmas sauce or whatever. If you have been to New Mexico, you know what I'm talking about. It's the green chili and the red chili sauce on top of something. And there was a guy playing live music, which I'm always a fan of. He wasn't bad, but it was a certain demographic that he was really hitting. He definitely played a lot of like 1960s TV theme songs immaculately. He was great, but it was just not what I would have expected anyway for live music. Yeah, it was good. After eating, I headed back to the motel and just chilled for the night. And that is day 3 and the end of part 2 of this little travel series. So next up, I started day 3 going to Texas. Day 4, we head to Arizona. So quite a bit of a jaunt in 2 days, but I did it. Oh boy, did I do it. So I'm still like looking back at all this footage and stuff. I'm just shocked that at some point I didn't just turn around and come home. Like, I'm blown away that this ever happened. Have I really driven that much since? No, but I did it and I'm pretty proud of it. So stick around for part 3. It should be up next week. And yeah, thanks for watching.